So before we start talking about why this game is bad, let's talk about the community and its mods / staff. When I first joined, I had a problem, so I went to the Discord for the game. In the Discord, there was 2 active mods at the time. The ones I talked to was Droopy Nuts, and he helped a lot of questions about the game. And then there was a second admin, Showphil, I think is how you say it. He seems to have access to the server panel for all servers that this game uses, which doesn't seem like many because there's only 6 active people as the point of me recording this. He also seems less hands-on when it comes to stuff. He's just there to restart the servers and make sure they're running fine. And like when I first found that out, I was farming in the game, which you're probably seeing now. And when I was farming, he reset the server, and I lost all my progress, which is like, that doesn't make sense. You should save, and then right as you save, you cut the game out. And I guess either he didn't do that or the game's not capable of doing that, which is a huge oversight on the part of the developer. Now, speaking of the developer, let's talk about him. Nikki. Nikki is a game dev and someone I didn't get to interact with during this time. I guess he was working on improving the game or working on the other 2 games he has advertised on his Steam page that are not out. Because he has 4 games on Steam page, which you're seeing now, and 2 of them are bad, have negative reviews, which is The Greed of Man. See, World of Fate is not as badly received as Greed of Man, but they're pretty similar. World of Fate only has a 35% on Steam, and Greed of Man only has a 23%. That is bad, if you don't know, but those are mostly negative reviews are overwhelmingly. So he can improve and grow on that, but he has 2 other games. I don't understand why he's working on them when he has this game that he's advertised so much is in a horrible state. So now let's talk about the development of this game. This game started development in late 2022, early 2023. I couldn't find anything concrete because one, Nikki deleted all his TikTok videos and can't find when he started development. Like, there's nothing on there. His YouTube has nothing from what I can tell. The internet has nothing from what I can tell. But during that time, he developed the game for about 6 to 8 months, and it was finally released on July 10th of 2023. And when it first came out, it cost $6.49. And when it came out, it started flooding with bad reviews. There was videos from like Moist Critical and stuff like that. Like, he trashed on the game, and a few others did. I'll put them here. And most of the reviews were calling it a scam, which I have to agree with. It was a quick way to gain a buck. Like, he used a game idea that people wanted, which is a good game idea, but he just made it shitty because he's a money-hungry developer, what I can tell. When you try to get the game now, it's free, but there's a $10 VIP DLC, which adds almost nothing to the game. Which makes no sense, because what's the point of having something that costs more when the game came out and adds almost nothing to the game? It's nothing. All you get is like a few extra slots and a few more interactions when you click on the selling NPCs and whatnot. Now, when you load into the game, there's a few locations. There's apartments. There's like 3 or 4 apartments. But only one of them works because all the others are still in development. Which it's no big deal, but if you know anything about Nikki, he promised that this would be a player-built and player-led economy, which makes no sense because when you actually log into the game, everything's already built for you. There's no building in this game. You just go around the city and make money. Which is a game we've already seen before, and it makes no sense because we were promised player police departments and other government jobs such as fire department, stuff like that. But you don't see that. Like, there's no players building houses, there's no one enforcing laws and whatnot. It's bad. So now the gameplay. The gameplay is just bad. When you first spawn in, you spawn in an elevator, and for the first time, you have no clue where to go. It doesn't tell you where to go. It doesn't tell you what you grab. And when you walk in the elevator, it tells you you can click this to go downstairs. But to actually be able to use it, you have to grab a key on the table. And to grab that key off the table, you have to pick it up. And you don't have a cursor on your screen, so you don't know where you're looking to grab it. So you have to go around the screen looking, trying to grab it. And it's very hard to grab. So the best way I found how to grab stuff in this game is you aim in, take it, and then you can go. And whatnot. That's horrible. And that's how you have to do it with most items. Most items are super hard to grab. They don't have a good range to grab them, or the game just doesn't know what you're trying to grab, which makes no sense because this game has been out it's been out 4 or 5 months now, and it's still in a horrible state. And see, like I said before, this game was supposed to be player-led, mostly player-led, with the player-led economy and whatnot. But when you join the game, you have $0, and there's a bunch of NPCs around. These NPCs, you have a shady NPC which sells you drugs, guns, water, and other things, and you can also sell them to him, and you can buy stuff from him like that. Then you have the miner NPC, which takes you to a part of the map where you can mine granite. And when you're mining for that granite, you get a bunch of it and you go to the NPC, sell it to the NPC, and you only get like $50 for every 50 granite you get, which is not a lot of money for what you're trying to do in this game. But underneath the apartment you start out in, there's a weed area, and in that weed area you can buy stuff. Luckily, gives you most stuff for you get like 30 weed seeds, a hoe, and something else for free. And you go in there, you plant the stuff, and it grows, but you don't know what you need to do after you grow it. You have to figure this all out by yourself. The game doesn't really walk you through it at all. So you're a lot of stuff you have to figure out yourself, which is no big deal. It's real life. And I guess that's what he's going for mostly, but you need some sort of because no one know how you're going to do the mechanics in this game. You got to teach the mechanics somehow. Especially a game like this, which promised so much and gave so little. No. The worst part about this game is night. There's no flashlight in the game from what I can tell. The flashlight, and it gets really dark at night. Horribly dark. You can't see anything when you're inside a building. You can barely see walking around the map. This giant city filled with nothing. No cars, no players, no NPCs. There's not much to this game. Really, you're just walking around mining or growing weed. And you gotta turn the game up to actually see. Because I had to do that at some point because I was still trying to grow weed to make a little extra money. See, test with the gunplay. I can tell you about the gunplay in a minute. It was just bad. It really was. It made no sense how the game worked and whatnot. Like, there was no thought. This game was really just there to make cash. And then when you get into the later parts in the game, you can get a gun, but you get enough money for it. Luckily, two like European guys, Russians, I think, gave me some equipment early on. They gave me clothing, a backpack, and a gun. But the bad thing with the guns, there's no point in having them. You can't kill people with them. You can't rob people with them. And there's no point to it. Like, I just don't get it. There's not much of a point to any of this. This game is just bad. This man promised so much and gave so little. So here are my final statements. So, Nick, if you're watching this, I personally think you are a scammer. You try to make a quick buck off people by making promises you will never give. they're all lies. You're just there to try to convince people to play your game to make a quick buck off them. Because now, when you first list the game, it was $6.49, almost $6.50, and when you do that, you're making the indie game industry look bad. Like, yes, you have your bad apples, but when you have all these people going, hey, this man's a scammer, and we know that now, you make the whole indie game industry in a whole look bad. Because now you have a $10 VIP, which adds almost fucking nothing to the game. And you sell it as a DLC. And you tell people you'll get more stuff with it. You add nothing to it. It's $3.50 more than when the game came out almost. Who does that? So this is what I'm going to say to you. This is how if I was you, try to improve my name so that I can actually make money in this industry. 1. Get rid of any other fucking project you're working on. Focus on Greeter Man when doing this. 2. As the bad state as this Greeter Man stuff is at, I would shut down this Greeter Man and revamp it. Use the Unreal Engine instead of Unity. Unreal Engine has so much more stuff you can work with, make the game look better, and give you better graphics, better player models. And then I would get a bigger team, man. What you're trying to do with this game is something that would take 2 or 3 years to develop with a good sized team and a good team. You don't seem to have that, or you wouldn't have made this game. Or at least in the status it was in 8 months. 8 or 6 months, however many months you worked on this game. So, there's the last thing to say to you, Nikki. You are the reason why some people will never play indie games. You need to work on yourself and not be so corrupt when you're making these games. So, Nikki, if you're watching this, please do better and make a game you're actually passionate for, not a game you're just trying to make money with. Because if you make a game you're passionate about, and it's truly good, you will be successful in this industry. You can see with so many other developers. Some developers I even love, like 1-Star Games, who made Choo Choo Charles, which some people said it's not a good game. In my opinion, it's a good game, but that's besides the point. Just make something you're passionate about. Please, for the sake of the industry, man. Like, you're not the main problem with this industry, but you can help make the industry better. So, being that said, this has been Golden Pit. I will catch you guys later.